All right, today we're going to be going over how to pick your niche and what is the best niche and just information around that sort. So let's get off and start off with what is the best niche? So there's not one. There's not a best niche. There's a best niche for you, but there's not a best niche for me or for that guy or this guy. Everyone has their best niche. You need to identify some things and work through some niches to understand what your best niche is. But there is no, this is the number one niche because they have more money or because of any dumb reason that anyone told you. There is no best niche. You need to move around. You need to understand what you're good at and things like that. So we're going to go over some stuff that you need to think about and a little step-by-step process. You need to think about what you're good at and what you already know from your natural surroundings and your life. So what I mean by that is when you're going through your life, you're naturally surrounded by things. Maybe your dad, maybe your mom, maybe your uncle, maybe your dad's friend, your maybe your teacher's husband. Like, you will naturally be surrounded by some type of information within business. You know some type of business, you know something like that. And if you don't, then you need to go outside more. I'm sorry. You need to go outside more and you need to talk some more because if you can't think of anything, that's pretty bad. But identify some things that you already know about, you already know exist, you already know kind of maybe a little more details than you know. Maybe pick something that you know more details about than you know more details about something else, if that makes any sense. But yeah, moving on. So we're gonna go into step one, okay? Uh, yeah, so step one is gonna be make a list of as many businesses that it would even be possible to put into education form. And what I mean by that is if you think of a business, think, can this be put into education form? Like, can this even become a course? Or can this person even teach their skill? It would be kind of hard for an electrician to teach their skill over an online course. That would take like an entire online college, and they have online colleges for that, but that would take like an entire college. But maybe like a chef could do like 100 best 100 best southern foods to cook for your family, blah 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 blah, something like that. So that would be teachable. That would be really easy to put into education form. So you need to basically write down a list for as many things that you can possibly think of. Just write down a list, and this might take you a while. And use ChatGPT or just ask people around you. Just get this list built. I would say a minimum of like 7 to 10. I would say a minimum of 7 to 10. All right, so we're gonna go into step two. Step two is ask yourself if they would benefit from starting an online course, and if they did, how would you help them specifically? So you need to go through your list once it's done, and you need to ask yourself with each person, how would they benefit from building an online course? And if they would benefit, how would you help them do it? And you need to answer those two questions. But it's not very hard. Sorry, I'm yawning. Super disrespectful, but I'm sorry. Um, but you need to definitely ask yourself those two things because they're very important. And there's actually something else you need to ask yourself, which is step three. Step three is ask yourself how easy or hard it would be for them to teach their skill set to other people, right? So, for example, the chef, right? Let's say it was 103 Southern recipes. How easy would it be for this 60-year-old lady who wants to build an online Southern cooking course to teach someone else how to cook Southern food? Personally, I feel like that would be pretty easy because this old, probably grandma, ten has taught tons of people how to cook, and I'm sure she knows. And I guarantee you, this grandma is sweet. You know what I mean? Like it would be pretty easy for this grandma to teach someone else how to cook some sweet corn mashed potatoes, okay? But you need to go through those two things, and you need to do the process of elimination after answering those questions. Just slowly filter them through. So if it were me, I would ask these two questions, and I would write down a check mark for would they benefit from a course. I would write a check mark or an X, right? And then I would do a check mark or an X for would it be easy or hard? And then I would maybe write a little, if there was two check marks, then I would take the time and I would go through and I would answer the second part to the first question, which is how would you help them specifically? I would write a little side note, and I would just write like something unique. I would, you know, I would yeah, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna get into step 5. Step 5 is narrow down the niche as much as possible. When you narrow down your niche, it's easier to target them as well as you are viewed as an expert. So let's say you pick this niche, is if it's not completely narrowed down as small as it can go, then you need to narrow it down more, right? Let's say you pick chefs, then what are you gonna pick? Chefs over 40 who are retired, or chefs who just opened their new store, or not store, new restaurant? Like, you need to narrow it down, because when you narrow things down in the niche world, you are viewed as an expert in that field, instead of like a guy who's works with chefs and he's worked with a random grandma, he's worked with one guy at a restaurant, he's worked with this guy over here. Instead of, it's like he's made 4 brand new restaurant owners successful through this process. Like, those people are going to, the restaurant owners are going to be flocking, you know what I mean? We're going to get to step 6 real quick. Step 6 is go through the process that it would take to build this niche and online course, and see if you discover any limiting factors about the niche. So you need to basically kind of go through your brain, or maybe do a Miro, or like on a piece of paper, whatever. You need to go through the process of what it would take to build an online course for this niche, and you need to make sure that you don't run into any completely limiting factors. If there's anything that is completely stopping you and limiting you from building this personal online course, then you need to probably move on from it, and you need to go on to the next one. And step 7, start targeting them, okay? And I'm going to be releasing a bunch of content on how to get clients, and how to specifically talk and target your niche. So those are going to be really valuable videos. I would definitely keep up and stay tuned for those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope this video helps. Really think about this. Just take your time. Picking your niche isn't a life changer, but it's okay to take your time, and it's okay, but don't stress about it. Don't take it too far. Take your time. Feel good, just make sure you're making the right decisions. Make sure you join the Telegram group in my bio.
By the
IPGA
way, I didn't
and
mention this when I
agency
was
owners.
recording
It's a
it,
great
but there
community.
is going to be a
I hope you
list
guys
of
have a great
potential
day. I'll
niches
see you
in
guys in
there.
the next one.